audience is clapping, so you're more than welcome to clap. Yeah, try to be.
Hi there. I just want to thank you both so much for your work. Both of your movies, I'm from a very small town in Indiana, so we have like a one-theater movie theater, and both of your movies were like first of the two that I ever saw. And to Paige, like, Beauty and the Beast is my favorite movie, and it's really guided me through my life, so thank you very much. I really And I have a question about Beauty and the Beast that I've always wondered about, and that the song that they added in during when they redid it,
Human Again.
Why did they not have it for the very first time? And then, do you think that it would have changed the movie if they would have done it for the first movie instead of just the renewal and the Broadway show?
Well, the reason why they didn't do it in the first movie, because in those days they thought it was a formula that kids would lose their attention after 90 minutes. And they found out that actually was not true. But that's why they cut it initially. And then there's another generation of kids when they released it again with that song in the film. I think there's only one version that has Human Again in it. And the kids just loved it just as much. The disappointing thing for me was that was Howard's favorite song. And I was so... They truthfully put it in the second film as much for him as anything. But I think it's, other than the title song, it's my favorite song. So, yeah.
Right over here.
Hi, I'm Christina, and it's kind of similar, but when I was younger, about 5, I was in a talent show, and I dressed up like Belle, and my mom did my hair all fancy, and I sang Beauty and the Beast, and I won the talent show.
Congratulations.
And I did one of the opening songs when she's in the town. I sang that song for auditions at school for musical and film center. So I've always been a big Disney fan. I was wondering if either of you guys have almost that figure that you use to do not necessarily audition for, but something that you looked for to go a baby on.
Like different idols, you mean?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, I have a bunch of idols. Judy Garland being my favorite. And of course, the great Julie Andrews. And I told the story, as I told you about The King and I, but I also was speechless and did not say a word when I first met her. And my husband was like, Paige, come over and say hi to Julie. And this is a Disney event. And it turned out my dream came true. I spent my whole weekend, my husband and I, hanging out with Julie Andrews. Talk about a dream come true. But she's definitely one of those are two of my favorite singers in the world. And I always was partial to Audrey Hepburn as an actress.
Yeah.
Soft spot.
I can't think of an answer to that question.
Again?
I know. Let me get back to you. Okay. I know. Who was here yesterday that knew? Yes, there was a
What did she say?
Yesterday was a similar question.
It was more like, I think it was...
What roles?
Yeah, what roles do you want to play?
I thought about it all night. It almost kept me up. I was like...
What role was your favorite? What role was your favorite? Yeah.
My favorite role that I've done?
Yeah, the question was, and you were just like,
I know, I couldn't think.
Come back to me.
No, I'm still trying a blank. Those are hard questions.
They are, just like I was saying yesterday, you're in love with the part that you're playing at the moment.
Right.
Yes.
I wouldn't put Menopause the Musical, though, at top of my career. Evita was a little more challenging.
What did you take away, what characteristics of each of your characters was something that you could relate to, or one that was maybe totally opposite of you as a person? Do you have any of those off the top of your head?
Yeah, for me too, there were a lot of similarities to my personality. Jasmine has a lot of chutzpah. She's she's a sassy princess, and I'm a sassy princess too. I feel like her strength was really appealing to me, and she wasn't afraid to
fight a villain, and I'm not afraid to fight a villain either. So even though I'd rather be a princess and be in love, when push comes to shove, I'm a tough girl. So, yeah.
I love the princesses. I just do. I think with Belle, I definitely identify with Belle from the very beginning, and certainly pushed the love of books and the independence, and she was the first princess that wasn't looking for a man. And it happened, but it wasn't the goal in her life. And I love her independence. And I think a lot of the times we talk about that side of her, which is that we love so much, the smart, brainy girl. But it's also pretty astounding that within seconds, she gave up her life for her father without even questioning it. I think that's a really important statement for children to see when they see the movie.
I just wanted to say first that the first movie I got on DVD was Beauty and the Beast, and I made my dad watch it 4 or 5 times. And then the first, princess pajamas I had was Jasmine. It was a little embarrassing, but it was great. I loved watching the behind-the-scenes footage of, you guys doing and leading up to the role, and I'm always fascinated about how the animators kind of use what you guys do as influence towards the finished product, especially with the new Frozen and Idina Menzel and her whole thing. I mean, so I was wondering if there was any certain mannerisms that you guys see in your characters that you know you do.
All through, both of us.
Yeah.
Totally. You tell them what yours are.
Well,
They videotape us.
they do.
All the recordings,
So I recognize a lot of mannerisms in Jasmine that are mine, and some I didn't, but my mom did. That is so you, and they were usually like the ones where she was being a brat. So, of course, I didn't recognize that in myself. But yeah, those were the ones that a lot of her gestures and in between the lines, the things that she would do.
Sure. The most obvious one was I had long hair that was always hanging in my face, but I have bangs now, and I was constantly pulling it out of my face, and that was immediately they put that in there. But a lot of just the expressions, and your mom, it was my sisters, when they came to the premiere, they were, oh, it's Paige, and they started laughing. I said, it's not supposed to be funny, Julia. They're just laughing their tails off. But yeah, they take all kinds of different mannerisms and, facial expressions that we have. But it's great. And then when I tell off the beast, that was really great. I thought that was interesting. They picked that scene for the Oscars, by the way. Yeah, but she's letting them have it. Maybe she's fixing his paw.
Did you ever get to, when you were recording, were you with other actors that were in the scene as well, with the other voice actors, or were you doing a lot of solo recordings?
We did, for my movie, it's probably the same for you. We recorded everything alone, and we recorded everything with the person we were in the scene with. So I got to work with everybody that Jasmine appears on screen with, including Robin Williams, because the scene on the balcony where he's a bee buzzing in Aladdin's ears, actually the only scene in the original movie that Jasmine, the genie, and Aladdin are in together, where there's any dialogue. So that was, and that was a fun scene because Robin did a lot of improvisation. So everything that he said, Aladdin had to repeat, and then Jasmine had to repeat. So anything Robin said, I had to say.
Some of it is X-rated, I hear.
Yes. It's just pretty.
Robbie Benson and I had recorded it actually like you did, and they had hired a voiceover actor as the Beast. And he lasted just a few hours, God bless him. They said, no, we need an actor. So they went on a search for the Beast. And Robbie Benson did an audition without saying he was Robbie Benson, star of the 70s movies. And when they heard his tape, they said, whoever this guy is, he's our Beast. And it was Robbie. And once he was hired, I felt like the whole film kind of used the soul of the film and the rock. He kind of made it all happen. So we requested, even though it was more expensive, to record together. And so pretty much everything that ended up in the movie with Belle and Beast, we did together.
That's amazing. That's so cool. To be able to have that connection because it makes the scene so much stronger and a lot more real than just.
Oh, and also Gaston is an old friend of mine. Richard White and I have done Broadway shows together. You know, I've done that for 15 years before we did He Got Cast. So it was really easy giving him a hard time. A few things I thought could stay in the movie, but they cut it.
Yes, right over here.
Hi, my name's Kelly. First of all, Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast are two of my favorite movies. But a lot of people, when they hear their voice recorded for the first time, are like, oh my god, is that what I really sound like? Is that what you thought the first time you watched the movie, Carol? Or first time you heard yourself?
Well, you know what, we would hear playbacks and stuff, but the first day is where I screwed up, because I thought, oh, my voice is kind of round and low, and I started trying to talk up here, and they're like, what are you doing? Stop. And then I started back again, and I started projecting to the final row, you know, and like Howard Ashman comes over the head and said, all right, Ethel Merman, stop. We hired you for your voice, okay? Just soften it up and use the mic. So after about 2 hours of like freaking out and changing my voice, I just was so blessed to use my own voice. It was fantastic. But it is weird sometimes, especially if you have a day you're recording that you have allergies or whatever. The mic picks up everything. So it can be tricky.
For me, it's really weird when I hear my voice unexpectedly. So if the movie is playing or one of the episodes of the cartoon series and the TV's on, I'm like, what? It's like I recognize it and I don't recognize it at the same time. So it's an odd experience.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right over here.
Hi, my name's Ashley. I just want to say, like, just being here right now is a crazy experience. You know, growing up, my mom only let me watch Disney movies, so I have a closet full of VHS tapes, and I just want to say that Belle was definitely the most influential princess I felt was relatable to me. And I guess my question would just be, do you guys ever, like, hang out with the other voice actresses of the other Disney princesses?
Well, we've gotten to hang out a lot this year.
Yes, we have. I love it. Now we want to do all these together.
I'm like, I'm not doing it without you. It's like, it's always going to be with her if I'm on the list.
My bud.
I know, but we get to see each other sometimes. Like, I think you get to see some people more than me, but, because you're good friends with Ariel, right?
Yeah, with Jody and Leia Salonga, and we sing at concerts and
They
stuff
sing.
from time to time. I mean, not that often, but it's really fun when I get to sing with them.
And we all got to hang out together 4 years ago now when they made 5 of the Princesses Disney Legends. So that was a really cool experience. It was probably the only time you're going to have 5 princesses in one room together. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. We are getting into the last almost 10 minutes of this, so we're about 13 minutes away. So we're going to close off the aisles at this point because we want to try and get everybody's questions so that way we can get everyone. So right over here.
Hi, my name's Allison, and I want to know, like, how does it make you feel knowing that your characters in your movies will, like, continue to be seen for, like, years to come, and not just by, you know, kids, but, you know, people of all ages?
It's overwhelming sometimes in a good way. It really is something I'm so proud to be a part of, and I feel really good about the movie and people seeing it, and I'm glad that they'll see it forever.
I'm totally with her on that, and now that it has been almost 25 years since Beauty and the Beast, I have seen several generations of kids that have been introduced to the film, but in these past 2 days meeting all of you, it's been the adults that it's been so touching to me when you say I grew up with Belle and Beauty and the Beast was such a big influence on me. That means the world to me. And, you know, when I'm long gone, it's still going to be around, and I think that's so amazing. And I'm very proud and very humbled by it.
Yes, sir.
Bonjour. First, you ladies are both shining, shimmering, and splendid. So like, wow, I loved everything Disney. On a different note, I love Kingdom Hearts, and
Yes.
I'm kind of curious if you guys are in the next one, the third one, Kingdom Hearts 3.
I'm not. Are you in that one?
I'm not sure.
I just did the first one.
I did the first one and the second one, I think, but
I'm looking for some spoilers.
positive.
Because
They
don't always use that. Yeah.
They don't, first of all, whenever it's Jasmine, it's always me, but they don't always tell me what I'm recording. So,
Like you'll pull recordings that you've already done.
Right.
And
so,
take it from different things and then use it when you get a check.
Right. And then,
Wait, can I sign up for more? Please.
it's possible, but I don't know. You're gonna have to tell us.
No, I know there's a young actress that's doing Belle's voice now.
No.
You've ever played?
No.
Could you sing a little bit
Speaking
for us?
voice. Yeah, I don't think they really use their singing much. They pretty much as they can, they list stuff that I've done over the last 25 years.
Well, could you sing
Of course I can sing it.
for us now?
All right, you did that tough. Okay.
Oh my
Only
God.
if you'll be part of the song.
Yes.
You guys want to see this happen?
All right, you know the opening number, right?
Yes.
I was a Broadway singer. I don't want to mic the song.
No, you better project.
Ready?
Yes.
There goes the baker with his tray, like always. The same old bread and rolls to sell. Every morning just the same, since the morning that we came to this poor provincial town.
Good morning, Belle.